Alrighty, good afternoon, everyone. We're a little bit early from the countdown timer, but it seems like both teams are ready and raring to get going. So, it is February 22nd here in Chicago. It's about 3:30 p.m. My name is Elvin, also known as Epoxy, and for today's match, we are now in Week 5 of the Collegiate League of Legends Riot sanctioned tournament. And so we're going to be watching Illinois Tech Division A team as they take on University of Manitoba Bisons. I should change that to UOM actually. Give me a sec. UOM Bisons. And so for today, it looks like if you were with us earlier today, we thought we were going to have a 2 p.m. game for the Division C team, but against Pennsylvania College of Technology, ended up forfeiting it. So IIT, one of their league teams, already getting a free win. Hopefully we can get some wins in this matchup. So for today, it looks like Bisons will be on the blue side, and hold on, gotta get the music on. Cool. Bisons will be on the blue side, so it's going to be Tiger Clown in the top lane, Arrow in the jungle, Tathalus in the mid, Elitus, Ali Deuce. I'm just going to go with Ali in the bottom and Albin in the support. IIT is going to be taking the red side with True in the top lane, Divine jungle, Blitzkrieg mid, Snowdown Arcade in the bottom, and Boom Bang support. So IIT pulling out the best players that they can for this matchup here, as this is now the penultimate, second to last game that IIT has in the group stage. And both teams here coming in at a 3-1 record, meaning that this is a must-win situation for either team if they hope to continue their road into the playoff stage. So, going to be tight between both teams. This is going to be kind of the one that makes or breaks it for either one, knowing that if they win today, all they got to worry about is one more weekend. If not, it will be the end of their competitive season after 6 weeks. So picks and bans on their way. It's going to look like IIT's going for the Ivern and Zach Ban. There for the jungles, looking like they're already trying to see if they can focus down Divine's roster. Silverban going to come out through against Snowdown Arcade, but IIT will respond with the Mordekaiser, Cassiopeia, and Orin ban. And again, we've seen Orin being used a lot in the NALCS, even used in the mid lane. But looking like IIT doesn't even want to give that as an option for Manitoba. Couple picks going to come through here. It's going to be the bottom lane and jungle here decided by Manitoba. It's going to be the Aphelios there for Ali and Leona for Albin. Leona, level 2 engage, always going to be something pretty heavy to deal with if IIT doesn't have the tools to be able to get away from that. Meanwhile, it's going to be the J4 jungle there for Arrow, and I believe that's a very common pick that's being used in Collegiate. Last time I hopped over into the Battlefy stats, they're actually saying like it's almost like 100% pick or ban rate between like college teams in their North Conference, but I digress. Then we're going to see from IIT, they're going to get the Olaf jungle and finish off their bot lane with the Caitlyn there for Snowdown and Morgana support there for Boom Bang. So Spell Shield will help things out against the Leona stun, will help things against the J4 knockout, but the CD is pretty unforgiving. So going to make sure that IIT has to have good discipline, and especially with that Sivir ban, Snowdown Arcade might not have all of the tools to be able to get out from potential focus there on the bot lane. With that Olaf jungle though, one thing I commented on, I was like roaming on Reddit a couple days ago and side conversation, but I actually saw that apparently like Olaf hasn't received a buff or nerf for almost like a full year. I believe it's like him, Quinn, and like maybe one other champion, but that was something of note. I thought that was interesting. I think Olaf potential 1v1 is always something that can catch a non-jungle main off guard if they're not expecting all of that damage output to come through. But I'm sure with both of these teams, I think Manitoba averaging a diamond 2, mid diamond kind of level of play, and I'm sure they'll be used to that. But let's keep it going with the second round of bans. Looking like Manitoba will take out the Aatrox and Syndra So looking like they don't want to have True on that, nor to have Blitzkrieg on that Syndra. And IIT will respond back with the Diana and Orianna mid lane bans, as J4's already been picked. And now, Snowdown Arcade now in the with the first pick in the second phase is going to get the Rise mid there for Blitzkrieg. And looking like Manitoba will respond with the Galio mid. That looks to be confirmed. And here now, Albin here to pick up the last member, the Manitoba's top laner, I believe, and hovering in a Mumu, I think, just for the memes. But the Teemo of all things. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna probably go for somebody like, oh, I was thinking AP, but hey, I'm down with the Camille too. And it's going to be IIT finishing it off with the Fiora top lane. Camille Fiora, interesting matchup. If she has the riposte available to counter to Camille E, that's definitely going to be fun. And not looking like IIT is going to be having to build up their team composition around that Olaf to have him be able to be tanky enough. But in terms of team engaging, this looks to be a very heavy fight, engage, disengage comp that IIT's hovering with. Meanwhile, Manitoba, I believe they've got that all in potential with the J4 dive, with the Camille dive, with that Leona dive. Leona ult, you know, level 2, level 3, I believe it's going to be like 45-second cooldown. You know, you're going to have a fight every minute, so this looks to be maybe a potentially very bloody battle between the two sides. We're going to get hit with the 3-minute spectate, but when we come back, it's going to be game 1 on its way, IIT versus Manitoba. Thanks, everyone. Alright, we are back. Appreciate everyone's patience as the spectator delay has now expired. And we are getting ourselves now loaded up onto the Rift and ready to go. If you're just tuning in, this is going to be Illinois Tech's Division A team versus University of Manitoba. So let us know in chat if you're watching today. Hashtag IIT win, hashtag UOM win. Who do we think that's going to be taking it on and moving forward with their hopes of continuing on to the playoffs still in sight? It's going to be here U of M in the blue side with Tiger Clown on the Camille top, Arrow into J4 jungle, Taythalis on the Galio mid, Ali on the Aphelios ADC, and Albin on the Leona support. IIT True on the Fiora top, Divine on the Olaf jungle, Blitzkrieg onto the Rise mid, Snowdown Arcade on the Caitlyn ADC, and Boom Bang on that Morgana support. I'm definitely going to be trying to keep my eye out onto that level 2 engage potential that Manitoba will have. Leona QE available if Morgana doesn't level that E, maybe level 2 could be troublesome. Will be Blitzkrieg getting impaled by a J4 staff, but is keeping an eye out to see if U of M wants to go for any potential invades. Divine throwing a little bit of a taunt between these two, but both of them just showing each other up on the Rift. True waiting inside the bush. Camille taking it slow, not sure if she wants to commit towards moving up there, but J4 still keeping himself up here. Blitzkrieg definitely going to want to maybe put a ward down to keep an eye, and he will put it down at 115. Will be him taking a couple of procs from the Galio Q, but Olaf going to be committing himself onto the blue buff with Caitlyn, and Manitoba will commit for themselves for the red buff. And hey, look at this chat. If you're looking, I now have learned how to put the buff timers on, so that was a cool thing I learned. Appreciate GG Leagues for teaching me the way. Will be Divine finishing up that blue buff. Will be J4 finishing up his red. And both sides coming down now into the lane. Gonna have to try to keep an eye out for it. Any potential engage. Both sides respecting, these potential invades, but it's going to be looking like Olaf is going to continue clearing his way through his blue side camps. Meanwhile, J4 pathing himself all the way over here onto to secure both buffs for him right from the get-go. Couple more minions until the level 2 is going to be hit. It looks like Albin might have the lead on it. Both sides pretty much hit it simultaneously, but that is going to be Morgana with the level 2 shield, and IIT instantly takes the back pedal in terms of going for engaging on that wave. Will be Olaf being spotted by the ward, placed down by Manitoba as they just clearing up the Raptors. Albin looking on the engage. It's going to be a nice spell shield there to keep Morgana from doing any more damage, but Snowdown Arcade getting chunked to about just above 300, taking a little bit of harass there, but nice spell shield from Morgana to stop the follow-up from the Leona Q, I believe. Another E going to be thrown out by Leona, not going to catch the Morgana. It will be a pretty big wave of about 5 or 6 minions here pushing their way up onto the Hawks. But I think in this kind of situation, that might be for the best, as that engage potential from Leona is perhaps too strong for the Hawks, and you rarely see, this level of play, that many mistakes between accidental dives and whatnot. So looking like both sides are going to just farm it safely. Ooh, a little bit of a, ooh, that's unfortunate. Just a couple minions there, but not to worry. It's going to be Olaf finishing up this scuttle here in the top lane. J4 will just have finished off his, and perhaps a J4 gank in its sights after finishing these Krugs. Perhaps it's going to be Leona landing a couple shots. Boom Bang missing the Q, unfortunately, and going to have to pop that health potion in response. True looking like he was taken very low, looking like he had to blow a flash, perhaps taking a turret shot that he didn't need to. It will be the J4 committing for his back. It looks like Olaf does not want to commit a back just yet. And already pulling up a little bit of a CS lead. True, pushing the wave, already having a 10 CS deficit before 5 minutes. Not something too nice to look at. But it's early days as of yet. My real potential, I believe, is going to be perhaps that first blood coming in through that jungle assist. Leona coming up for a ward. Will have been putting a ward down here into the blue buff. Will be Divine walking right through it. That'll give the information that Manitoba knows to not look for any more big engages there in the bot lane. Meanwhile, nice couple wards here in the top. Still, most of them relatively healthy, I believe. And the Scuttle will also be able to see it. Arrow will walk right by it. And they know that both junglers are now on opposite sides of the map. It's going to be the first back here, potentially being locked in here for U of M spot Aphelios, but not looking like it actually will go through. Really only Morgana the worst for where she does have no more pots in her kit. Stone and Arcade still has his. It will be Divine looking at a potential Raptors. It will be Galio coming in around. Looks like he wants to bait it. And Thalos is scared of this. He's going to be stuck right in between. He's going to be taking the stun. And Divine taking a decent amount of damage. No Ignite here for Galio. Albin looking like he has to get himself out quick. It will be Divine looking like he falls to the first blood here. It will be the J4 securing it. It will be the Rise falling. And a big 5-man roam for Manitoba to just pick up 2 kills. IIT not able to have their bot lane match that, as it looks like they were being pushed earlier. That's going to be an instantaneous TP from Tiger Clown, but should give some time for Fiora to catch up here. It's going to be pushing them about behind 1k, and perhaps Arrow looking like he wants to get his stealth started on the Ocean Drag. It is going to be Divine walking all the way through this. Can he match it? U of M will be having some assistance from the Leona. They are going to not have a sight ward to see it in mind. Dragon now going to be taken to about 1500 health. The convergence is not there. Galio will be delaying his back off. It will be Divine not able to secure the Dragon, but he will be ulting himself right in. They want to get the kills. It's going to be Divine getting Albin. It's going to be Galio taken very low. Going to have to blow his flash out. Any more follow-up here from Morgana? Morgana has got the Q available. Can she land a shot? It is in range. I believe the flash engage is going to be there. It's going to be able to capture him. Aphelios with his flash available is going to have to barely use it just to get himself out there, but Rise going to respawn in kind of an IIT, quick to try to see what they can recover. Unfortunately, the Dragon going over to Manitoba. Divine wants to take back the red buff on his own. He's actually going to walk right in front of it. Elite is not going to be caught. Albin is going to be able to see the Aphelios, but the Divine will not have his ult available. Could be trouble for him. It's going to be a nice stun up. It's going to be a free red buff, and IIT cannot respond. Divine with a selfish invade there to get the red buff. Blitzkrieg going to have to try to ult himself out just to get out of a potential roam there. And Manitoba all over the map. All players in line with what they want to be doing. Will be the Caitlyn hitting level 6 pretty soon, perhaps after this wave. But they're going to take advantage of Divine's death to perhaps look at clearing up whatever they can in his red jungle. Divine's going to settle himself there with the blue buff as it is available. Albin putting another ward down once again. Looks like he'll be able to capture it. Will be putting a control ward down right after. But Manitoba already placing a ward here in the top lane, keeping track of Divine's movements. Snowdown will hit level 6 faster than Elitas, but he's going to have to go for his back. Going to pick himself up a BF, some boots, and a dagger. Looking like could be a gank potential if we had something to hope for. Will be Divine finally hitting that level 6, but it will be traded in response with J4 taking that red buff. Both junglers going to be hitting that level 6 right at the same time. It's going to be True going for a bit of engage here on Tiger Clown. Tiger Clown with a nice E, but it's going to be parried right off. It's going to be J4 with his ult available, but True with a flash coming up pretty soon could be cut off. He needs the help here. He's going to have to go for it. He does have to Q to get him over, though, as he just channels himself over the wall. And not much more of an issue, but Albin all over the map. Not even level 6 yet, just to note, in terms of just his level of presence. Will be going for that Rift Herald. It will be somebody pinging it from IIT to keep an eye out for it, but this is 3 members strong here. I'm not sure if IIT has the tools to engage. Blitzkrieg going to have to be tending to this mid wave. Going to be another objective here secured by the Bisons, as Arrow will pick up that Rift Herald. It will be Boombang taking a decent chunk of damage for some reason. Almost thought he was taking turret aggro for a wild second. It will be Snowdown Arcade though, and Elite is trading blows, but under the safety of his tower, not much that IIT can really do here. We'll be getting some turret plating in his own, but those trades aren't really going to be in your favor for sure. Leona now with her Ignite available with those Moby Boots all over the map. Kenshi does not have the level 6 engage yet, but will be walking over a ward. Spell Shield is available on Boombang, will be able to sidestep right out of it, but the Spell Shield coming in through. The damage from Elitist and Broken Champion, you are welcome, Riot. Thank you for that. Boombang will fall here, and Caitlyn will miss out on a couple of minions here. And potentially Elitist is going to be looking at getting the first turret plate of his own. Divine now coming in around the jungle, but will be seen right by it as he did walk over this control ward. And Hawks definitely have struggling here through the early game. The engage from Divine from that jungle invade wasn't able to pay off and definitely sets them back a little bit. It will be the Cloud Dragon spawning up in about a minute. Do the Hawks have the tools to prepare for it? They are securing themselves this scuttle. But J4 with the Rift Herald available with only about 3 minutes left in turret plating could be another big switch in gold. Snowdown yet to really be in any big engages as of yet. I think only helping assist in that one kill on Leona earlier. Will be wards placed down from both sides. Galio now walking all the way here in the bottom with his ult available, I believe. Yes. And they want to go for the engage. It's going to be Snowdown with a nice spell shield, but it's going to be rooted up by Boombang. Boombang should instantly fall here. Galio ult to follow up. It's going to be Snowdown Arcade going to be knocked up here. Blitzkrieg with a fairly late roam here. It's going to be nice couple of traps there. Talitha's taken pretty low. Is the damage there? Follow up there from True and J4. It's going to be the stopwatch there launched by Albin. The follow up is not there. It's going to be Albin having to flash himself out. Very low members on both from Manitoba, but no kills being provided. Just some slim margins is there to take it so low. But Blitzkrieg taking a couple of turrets, taking some damage. From the Aphelios gun. Will be True in a tough spot to flash engage there to keep True, but he's going to have a riposte. The damage will still not be through. Oh, Snowdown Arcade will not be able to land a Q and will not be able to get a kill onto here, but Boombang wants to get something. He does not have his ult available, but too many low members of M could be the Cloud Drake here secured. It will be J4 placing that Herald down to just get whatever plating that they can get here from this. Will be perhaps first turret in contention. Divine going to have to be able to secure the Drake, fortunately. And IT will be able to get just a little something out of that. Will be actually the Rift Herald still alive. But Blitzkrieg will be there to will be there to address it before it charges right into the tier 2. And as we're kind of pretty much out of this mid-game phase, we're looking at a 5k gold lead here from Manitoba. A lot of resources being put ahead in that Camille, having the time to split push on her way as True committed himself for the TP, but regrettably not able to get any kills there from that bot lane play. Neither side from IIT able to really have the damage yet to have it come through. The Infernal map buff will come through here. Will be a ward being able to spot that Rise as he's going for that blue buff on his lonesome. But nobody really dared to address it. Not really like there should be anyway. This control ward actually not able to capture this ward placed down here by the Rise is interesting enough. But it will be another control ward being placed here from Albin to see above the Wolf Pit. And Boombang putting down his own, but there, 10 seconds left to go before turret plating comes down. True stuck in a rock and a hard place. It's going to be ulted right there by Arrow. Will not have the flash available. Will be Divine there just to watch helplessly as Manitoba converges. IIT though in a tough spot. That's going to be Snowdown Arcade getting locked up by the ult, but the damage is not there. Spell Shield will be able to help before too much comes through. And IIT ends up winning a little bit ahead of that trade, I suppose, if you want to count just in terms of health. But Morgana losing out on the crucial summoners. Tiger Clown here finishing off the tier 1 top. Helping things on as the game continues. 8-1 here for Manitoba. Going to need a big team fight in IIT's favor to have things turn around, as you know, these leads will continue to build themselves up until to a point where it could be trouble for the Hawks. IIT not really in a position where they can actually go beyond the river. Only the tier 1 bot here in a relatively healthy position. It will be IIT going for a quick back. Stormrazor here now being completed for the Caitlyn. And is Manitoba going to be looking at perhaps the next objective will be that tier 1 bot lane perhaps. It will be True stuck once again to Tiger Clown going for a 1v1 engage, but that damage from the Tiger Clown, good lord. Another J4 arrow here available to finish it up. Riposte not going to come through and he will be instantly slain. Honestly, could have probably done that 1v1 at that point. True, not going to be having a fun time. And I believe he last picked that Fiora. So he picked Fiora into Camille. And, you know, that's something that I'm not sure if that ends up working out for him. It will be the second scuttle now. Manitoba able to secure it for themselves, the first one. And now looking like they'll be able to get the second one here too. Albin with another pretty far-reaching roam here. Will be finally some signs of life here from IIT as they're able to get the tier 1 bot for themselves and will be their first tower. But it will be at the cost of the Rift Herald now falling in Manitoba's favor. All 3 members here inside IIT's jungle claiming the space for their own. It's going to be IIT going for a back, looking like the Herald's going to be spawned, and IIT's got to make a play here to protect what they can from this tier 2 top. It will be Leona being taken pretty low, but taking some turret aggro here. Gonna have the stuns and the CC to lock things up, and True will fall again. 0-4, unfortunately, the tier 2 will fall here from the top lane. Boom Bang and Stone on Arcade. What can they do against it? It will be Arrow without his ultimate available. And it will be Stone on Arcade able to take down the Herald before it goes on its charge at the inhib turret. Meanwhile, Blitzkrieg taken very low will be instantly ignited right by the Leona, but I don't think that damage is going to be just enough, unfortunately. The flash being used, in fact, but Divine's going to make Galio pay for that. Divine's going to try to see if he can make Leona pay for that. And could this be enough to bring perhaps Divine back into the game? I don't think he's doing too bad in terms of just keeping up, but he just in terms of just the kills that he's able to get, it is going to be 1k behind it. It is going to be the Infernal Dragon spawning in 15. It will be Tiger Clown securing the final tier 1 there in the bot lane. And Divine looking like he wants to go for a potential 1v1 between these two. Not sure about how this matchup is going to work. He has no assistance from his members there, but the damage is not going to come through to 1v1 to try to see if they can keep the Camille in place. That's going to be a decent amount of shutdown gold, 450 in fact. But the damage will not be able to follow up. IIT now in a tight spot. Rise with his ultimate not available, as I believe he used it perhaps earlier. It will be 3 members of the Hawks instantly collapse on, but they're going to have to fight their way out of this. It's going to be Leona keeping that Snowdown Arcade pinned. It will be Fiora falling. Snowdown Arcade trying to kite where he can. Blitzkrieg though, and Arrow going at it. The damage is not quite there. Snowdown Arcade barely able to keep himself alive, but these huge amount of trades between both sides. Blitzkrieg trying to do what he can to kite away, EQ in his way. Taken very close, but that will be a couple of crucial kills, a couple crucial shutdowns, in fact. There for the Hawks, it's going to be Tiger Cloud giving 550 there to the Rise. It's going to be Caitlyn able to take 300 from the J4. And it will be having the Olaf alive to go for this Infernal Drake, perhaps. The timing here in the Hawks' favor here. And they're able to cut back some gold, actually, in that process. Leona going to not be likely able to be there in time with the Moby Boots. Rise trying to hold Galio at bay, but the TP play is here. The Smite will be able to secure it there, but Olaf going to have to be at the cost of his own life. Taythalis going to have to be using his stopwatch to be trying to get away from Blitzkrieg with a nice spell shield to have the damage come through. Blitzkrieg needs to try to turn on in here. True going to be trying to see if he can follow up. No ult, I believe, available for that Leona. The Galio ult being channeled. Going to be tried to be dived away, but Tiger Clown channeling the E, but won't continue on for it. So at the cost of his own life, Olaf able to pull out the Infernal Dragon for the Hawks, and that will definitely help whatever the Hawks can get from it, for sure. Follow-up is there, and fights are looking a little bit better here for the Hawks. Looking like they're able to at least know who to focus down to. Stone and Arcade still doing a pretty good job in terms of cutting a way out of these fights. Looking like that recent fight had him using both of his summoners still, so it's going to take some time for him to have all of the tools in his kit available. That Morgana's going to have to stick to him like flies on a piece of moldy bread, because that spell shield is going to be crucial against all of that potential engage that U of M has. Looking like the IE being started, getting some of those components down on that Caitlyn. She's going to be getting that red buff for herself. And, you know, actually, even with the 4 kills from the Aphelios, she's still got a little bit of a gold lead on her own, actually, from the looks of it. Just about 200. Yeah, not doing too bad herself. But 2 Heralds there for Manitoba, 2 Dragons there for IIT. You know, just some of that small misplays here from the early game, but IIT's got to be able to tighten up their plans. They're going to have to try to figure out what they want to achieve, because that Camille's going for that split push, and it will be walking perhaps right in front of Rise, but Rise is going to be there to address that. Will be 3 members of Manitoba roaming right back down. And we're kind of at that stage of the NAA ramp. This is going to definitely give some time for IIT to catch back up for sure. And Blitzkrieg, actually, we saw him able to, you know, pop off a little bit in terms of that last fight there near the bot Tribush. So if this continues, could be perhaps more potential here. As you know, what else can Manitoba do? All the tier 1s are already done. Now we've got like 3 minutes until we want to commit something, and I don't think Manitoba can just risk a Baron straight from the get-go. I don't think that. I think they're giving Olaf and Co and the IIT team the respect they deserve to not look for a full-on engage like that, as a Baron play could be pretty beneficial for IIT to get themselves back into the game. So looking like neither side's really going to commit. Looking like Caitlyn will finish off that IE, and she's going to be definitely going to need it for the next team fight. We'll have the heal available pretty soon from the looks of it. But the real answer is, can this Fiora have the ability to catch up? They're not giving her the chance to, they will actually be able to get her to recall. And if actually that landed, I think she would actually die, because Leona was coming right through the Tribush, and she was sitting on a ward. Will be a little bit of hedging between here, but they know that Manitoba's right on the other side, keeping themselves to the lane, and this is 4 members here converging onto a potential Baron, and they have cleared out the red buff, but IIT going to commit themselves with this back. Manitoba looking like they just want to potentially wait it out. No deep wards here to see anybody. Will be 1 spotted out here, placed down by True, I believe, yeah, but won't be walking over anything. Boombang going to be taken. Already taken 300 health right to the chest. Will have a couple control wards in his kit. But again, I think Manitoba content to wait it out. Trying to see both sides just right now fighting for vision wherever they can. That's going to be 45 seconds for that Infernal to spawn. And Arrow is in a position for it. It's going to be the channel. Ult channel out here. Boombang going to have to use the zone just to get himself out. But the damage there, barely there. Arrow will fall. Just 1 tick of it available, and Boombang had Ignite, dude. That is so unfortunate there for the Hawks, unfortunately, and I said it twice, my bad. But again, that's just really the tilter there for sure. Boombang unable to hold on, not able to use the summoners correctly to finish off a J4, and that would have been crucial, especially if they're going for a big objective here as well. Will be Camille in the tight spot, Blitzkrieg there with the ultimate. But this is going to give it enough time for the Infernal to now spawn up. Does IIT want to challenge this? A couple of deaths here could have the game go to a point of no return, as they could easily transition themselves out of Baron. They are looking like they're going to sacrifice this Infernal Dragon, and that will be 2 to their name. They're going to let Arrow to go do that on his lonesome, but IIT sending pings out for this Baron. This would be insane if they try to commit themselves for that play. Looking like they're just trying to see whatever vision that they can establish within their blue side jungle. It will be Caitlyn now back with both of her summoners available. So I think, you know, largely not having that to her availability was definitely something tough in that last fight. But So wish that Boombang had to ignite. That was so close. Honestly, if I go back to that play, it's got to be at least under 100 for sure. Just one W or one auto attack, even from Morgana, would have been able to do it. True, finally coming through here, showing signs of like getting his team the tier 1 top. And all of this is doing, you know, this mid-game phase here from Manitoba, not looking like they're going for any strong engagements, looking like they're respecting IIT to be able to hold out on their own. But this is just going to give time for the ones that were behind in the early game phase to catch back up, perhaps. You know, the gold lead not insane, you know, as opposed to like other games where it's like 10k at 25 minutes or something. 5k is workable. You know, getting that shutdown goal definitely helped in that bot Tribush fight. Camille working herself up with some of it again, as she's almost 60 CS ahead from that Fiora, but True gonna have to try to do what he can. He's gonna meet the Camille there in the bot. Nope, doesn't look like it. They're looking like they're gonna give it to the Rise. I think at this stage, True's job has got to be maybe trying to just go 1v1 onto the Aphelios, but even then, I don't even think she can last on her own, perhaps. Not until that Triforce is finished up, perhaps. IIT sending out the lens, trying to see whatever vision that they capture. Not going to be able to capture the one onto the Raptors. Caitlyn traps to spot things out, but again, both sides neither willing to pull the trigger, just waiting for the objective to spawn. But with 2 dragons in IIT's kit, they're going to be able to help delay the soul coming through it all. And what either side is going to commit themselves to. Look at that 3-level deficit between top and support, between ADC and support. That is a sign of some intense roaming from either side here. Will be Arrow coming into IIT's jungle. It will be Blitzkrieg taking very low. He's going to have to flash himself out. Thalos taking a decent amount of damage. Holding out on his own, though. But the TP here from Fiora, I believe this is going to be an insane play if True actually lands it. Oh my god. Camille cleaves it in 2. But the follow-up should be there. Nice dodge there. Fiora will be able to pick up the kill and committing themselves now towards his tier 1. Could this be what spells it up for IIT to get themselves back into the game? But don't count them out yet. That's going to be a couple of big summoners available on either side. Snowdown Arcade having the pushing power to be able to take a tier 1, and IIT putting themselves back into the game here. Don't want to jinx anything, though. True not having his ult available will have to flash. But that's going to be it. Snowdown Arcade with both of his summoners available. Divine with both of his summoners available. Morgana. It's going to be a while for that flash to come up, but she does have the Zhonya's at her disposal. A flash ultimate could be things to get things started off, but I don't think IIT is necessarily wanting to jump the trigger here. They're going to wait it out. They're going to continue just trying to get True back into this game, to get the Olaf, I think, also back in the game, as there is about a 1k difference between that Olaf, but should be, I believe, a Deadman's perhaps being finished up by the Olaf. I'm not sure about Randuin's. I feel like it's got to be Deadman's, right? Either way. It's going to have some armor, though, to deal with that. Oh, maybe it really is Randuin's. Because Warden's Mail, I don't think Deadman's builds in from Warden's Mail, so. Huh. Interesting. Will be Aphelios going with his back here, but he's got himself 40 seconds. Galio's got himself 40 seconds to get back in for to contest that dragon. No Scuttle available to get anything started here, though, but it will be Galio with his ultimate available once the dragon spawns. So an early fight could be able to get things started. Divine going to have to walk his way out of here. He is going to have a blast plan to get himself over safely. Close call there for sure. TP not available here for the Fiora to capture anything, but now UMN wants to see what they can contest. It's going to be Albin with a big dive here, trying to see what they can do. Arrow going to try to get himself all of those dives onto everybody, and they will instantly cleave that Caitlyn. But what can they do from the backline? Blitzkrieg now into this fight, going to be taken very low. Olaf will fall. Tiger Cloud going to be going against Blitzkrieg in a 1v1 here, going to be knocked over the bush. And even with the Black Shield, even with the flash available, Snowdown Arcade cannot dodge that many abilities. Unfortunately, IIT cannot converge, and it all starting off with the Olaf getting caught from Leona. Leona putting all of her resources in there. That dive comp is working things out for them, and this could be the Baron play to seal the deal here for it. That Sivir ban coming in through clutch, dude. If Divine had a Sivir spell shield to get himself perhaps like out of a Camille ult or something, like, oh man, that's unfortunately. And fighting in a jungle in these kind of enclosed spaces is definitely what Manitoba wants. Camille with the tools to get over wherever she needs to. J4 to get over wherever he needs to. It's definitely not something to be desired. This Baron power play going to be now available for a couple minutes here for Manitoba. What can they do with it? Looking like a potential tier 2 mid or bottom focus still. And yeah, you know, just the range from this rapid fire cannon potentially to help things out a little bit for the Caitlyn. But again, you know, pretty much now all that they need to do to have their divers is build up just a little bit of tank. And, you know, Caitlyn can 1v1, Caitlyn can 1v2, but I don't think you can take 1v3s like that. Will be the Black Shield being launched instantly, but a valuable ultimate being lost now, and Olaf will not be able to access that backline for about another hot minute. Looks like Manitoba got what they want, and then they back right out. Baron buff now. Kind of at the quarter mark, I think. Halfway mark. I don't think halfway yet. True trying to do what he can, but this is going to be a 4v5 fight. 4v4, excuse me. Four v 4v4 fight between these two, but it's looking like it could just be the one play that's going to finish it off here. IIT don't think they can allow themselves to just continue losing big objectives all over the place. Will be 4 members available here. It will be Blitzkrieg taken relatively low. It's going to be instantly died by 2 members. Going to have to flash himself out. Going to not be able to have the stun fall through. And he's going to have to kite his way out. But the damage from the Galio Q will have him fall. Stone and Arcade trying to do what he can. He's still alive. But the dive there will instantly have him fall. And at this point, it's just formality. 5 only. The Galio falling will have game 1 looking like it's going to be secured by Manitoba. And it's coming through. Unfortunately, jungle and top not able to pull through where they needed. Will be the surrender. Manitoba taking the game 1, 26-8, 61.9k to 51. Thought we saw perhaps a chance for IIT to come back, but just snapping those big team fights was definitely able to cut it. Aphelios coming out some busty damage. I think, like, you know, Morgana falling in that turret, just like walking back to her tower, that was unfortunate. And Casey tried Snowdown, tried to do what he could, but unfortunately not able to pull it through. Let's see. Or I'll just... I'm back. Or maybe I should just join it from their channel. I should look up Blitz. Invite. I should add him to the IIT's group. Alright, let's take it back to the spectate. And so Manitoba with a pretty convincing level excuse me, just a pretty convincing game. Sorry, I don't know where I was going with that. I was stuck in my train of thought between updating these scores. Yeah, I think game 1 just small misplays. I don't think the team fighting was necessarily the issue. It was really just the comp. Caitlyn trying to outrange those guys, but the diving, you know, 3 dives, Leona E, Camille E, J4, like, give the man a break, dude. He's trying to pump out the numbers, but unfortunately, Black Shield from Morgana will not be able to do it purely on its own. and wasting a build for a QSS in that kind of situation is kind of just already at a disadvantage. It puts Snowdown in a pretty inherent disadvantage. I think, you know, IIT's got to reconsider that comp, reconsider their pick bans, because if Snowdown doesn't have the ability to be able to stay alive enough in the fight, I think that's going to be the what's going to spell the end. So perhaps maybe a more tankier CC type jungle instead of just like blitzing in and engaging. I think, you know, Zach was good, but if Manitoba bans it again, that could be troublesome. Yeah, they need the CC lock to have Snowdown be able to pull through. I think in terms of a pure 2v2 bot lane, I think definitely the Albin shows more prowess above Boombang in terms of just like the ability for Rome going for the engages. So it is a little bit of rank disparity, I believe, coming out through here. But that's it's you know, collegiate. This is really, it's for me. I think it's pretty rare that in these kind of high plat, mid plat, diamond-ish games that you're gonna have just purely rank decide the game here, if the disparity is just that high. But IIT did a good job of getting 2 dragons for themselves, making sure that they were able to keep their timers in mind. I thought they had something when they were able to get some of those shutdowns there in the bot lane, near that bot tri-bush, but unfortunately just like a couple of bad picks will do that to you. And some of those engages, that Galio just all over the map, the Hex Tech bolt as well, having some of that damage to finish off Rise with 1 Q proc was not fun. Looking like probably both sides are still talking it through to figure out what they want to do, so I'll just go on standby with my mic, and then once pick bans get started, we can get back into the game. So I'm just going to turn on some music from the side. I'll take a quick look at chat. Divine, turns out Dive Cop is kind of good. No, I don't know what gave that away. Divine has Sivir's Spell Shield. I meant Black Shield. I think Sivir's is called Spell Shield, and Morgana is called Black Shield, but I just call it Spell Shield since it does the exact same thing. It just, you can deny everything, and it's even better for Morg because it doesn't actually just stop just one ability. Anyway, yeah, just put on some music, and then when we get back, it will be game 2 between these 2 teams. Alright, looks like it was pretty much preemptive. Again, every time I try to just wait it out, these guys just start when I don't want them at the most inopportune time. Anyways, pick ban's going to be getting themselves started here. And IIT now 0-1. Have to pull out a win here if they want to continue their way through the playoffs, but it's got a long road ahead of them. Looking like they're able, Manitoba's team play is just too clean for the Hawks to potentially handle, and that dive comp definitely working out for Manitoba in the pick ban phase. So how does IIT want to respond? You know, that's going to be the real question. Do they want to keep themselves with a similar composition, look for a different type of engage, disengage? You're going to have to see it. I mean, Boombang on a mage support versus Boombang on a tank support could be a start to look at. But Leona, you know, such a big pick right here, right now, even in range right now, like Leona Nautilus perhaps for Boombang, if he's comfortable with it, could be big. Have some big CC, have some big engage potential, but gonna have to see. It will be a couple bans coming here through. IIT now will be on the blue side, and they want to get that Aphelios right out of the game, now opting to go for that as their first phase bans. I think last time they had the Ornn ban, but in this case, it's actually going to be the Ornn being banned from Manitoba's side. So they're going to take out the Zac and Ivern once again, but Gonna keep that Ornn also out of the game. True now with the first pick is going to lock in the set. And that'll be looking like, as opposed to, I believe from game 1, it was the junglers and bot lane being picked out first. And then mid-top. But here it could be... I don't want to say that's going to be a set jungle, because I haven't really seen enough of that to convince me that's actually what people do. Will be the MF there, picked up by Elita still. And J4 once again. So, does IIT want to commit some of their bans in the next phase? Is it going to be a Camille ban? I don't know. I don't think was necessarily the issue per se. I think just IIT needs to be able to have the tools to address those kind of big follow-ups. And it looks like, again, spicing things up, that's going to be Divine picking up the Leona there for Boombang. So looking like Boombang wants to turn the tables onto Manitoba and look for his own big roams across the map. And that's a Lucian being hovered. And good God, that's going to be locked in though, for sure. And so Snowdown Arcade on the Lucian Leona. The 2 L's, but hoping we don't have the second L come here between the series. Alright, I'll stop with that. I don't know why I'm going with that. But I like Lucian, but it works really well with like Nami, Lulu. I haven't seen Lucian Leona spot lanes. I'm trying to remember how that engage works. I think it's... if you have to knock up, you have to follow damage with Lucian proc. Like, I think landing everything together can have you come out in trades, but looking like Manitoba's going to counter that though with the Braum. So I that's what I was thinking too, because with Leona, if she dies on your ADC, like she can do her own damage respectively, but if you put Braum shield in front of it and the ADC is like still in front of the Braum, like none of that damage is gonna touch the MF. So if Braum gets to proc onto Leona for the 4 stack and then gets frozen, like that's could be pretty bad for Leona too, because she'll be isolated. Gonna have to be some pretty big trigger discipline between both sides, honestly. Gonna have to make sure that both sides respect the cooldowns. But one of the issues with Braum is that, you know, after these past couple of nerfs, he's not really in a prime position, I would say, to like go for big fights. But like just like the unstoppable, you know, health, like he can never die. He can definitely fall, but it's all in the team play for sure. A couple bans will come out through here. It's going to be the Galio and Orianna and IIT. Looking like they're trying to force Manitoba to do a completely different roster change with that Galio ban now, with the Aphelios ban, and now with that Leona pickup. But they're going to keep Arrow on that J4, and they will respond with banning out, trying to ban out Divine's jungle pool with the Graves and with the Kindred. So that's 4 junglers committed on Divine, looking like Manitoba is like, you know what? I don't think we got to worry about banning out anyone else besides the Divine. So, will that be enough to hold back the Hawks, or will we see perhaps Blitzkrieg and Boombang pull out some signature picks of their own to make Manitoba Bisons regret it? It's going to be the Kale top there for Elitas, and that's something that you don't see every day. Will be Veigar mid here, picked up by Blitzkrieg, and Boombang now with that last pick. What has he got for Divine? And it's going to be the Shyvana jungle. Once again, I still see this kind of engage-disengage comp. I don't, you know, we don't really have to. I guess Set, if he's able to land a really nice power drive like ult. And Shyvana, I guess, also has hers available. So I guess they're keeping themselves with similar engage tools. They have the tools to access that backline, but Lucian will have the Veigar cage to keep anyone going past that. And really, it's just if too many members of them die, but if Manitoba was able to kite back themselves with it, like, that could be trouble for them for sure. Let's go over the roster though. It's going to be True there looking like at the set top, Divine on the Shyvana jungle, Blitzkrieg, Vagar mid, Stone Arcade on the Lucian ADC, and Boombang as the Leona support. Tiger Clown here with the Kale top, Arrow, J4 jungle, Taythalis on Diana mid, Ali Deuce on the MF ADC with Cleanse, I might add, against that Leona, so respecting that. And Albin on that Brown support. We're going to get hit with the 3-minute spectate delay in a bit, but when we come back, game 2 on its way. Can the Hawks pull it through? Can they pull off that reverse sweep when we come back? Thanks, everyone. Alrighty, appreciate everyone's patience. Spectate delay has now expired, and we're going to get ourselves loaded now onto the Rift. Pretty eventful game for game 1 here between IIT and Manitoba. Manitoba able to pull out with victory ahead of the Hawks for sure. It will be IIT now onto the blue side and backs against the wall. Now in a reverse sweep situation that they got to pull themselves to if they want to hope to be able to bring out a win here. 4 bans onto Divine. And this is going to have to try to see, is Divine the only member that can bring it out here for IIT? We're going to need some other members here to turn on big here if IIT wants to bring out the win for sure. I think it's going to be True on that set top and Divine on the Shyvana jungle. Blitzkrieg with the Vagar mid. Stone Arcade, Lucian ADC, Leona support on Boombang. But this is a game about, this has got to be one of those games all about timing, I gotta say. KO level 16, Vagar, if he's built enough AP stacks all over, could be something not fun to deal with. Shoe drag. I don't even think that's how you spell shoe. It's S-H-O-O. Canadians, dude. Can't even get our English words right. Oh, man. Speaking Canadian. Oh boy. I think if IIT wants to be able to get this through, they've got to try to be able to make sure that they can pull out the win before that Kale gets to level 16. I think Kale level 16 against this front line will just like half right through them. Like, they've got their own divers for sure, and it will be Manitoba coming back around here. But Stone and Arcade, do they have to catch on it? They will be able to see it. It's going to be Boombang tagged up here. It's going to be Boombang taken very low to ignite. There could be the first blood, and a big commitment there from Manitoba ends up paying off. No wards there available. We'll be able to see the red buff, but do they want to follow up more? Using the power of the Braum, using the power of the proc damage to be able to pull it through. Divine going to be shoot away from his jungle, will not be able to secure the red buff, and Manitoba will walk right back out from it. Big commitment here from these guys. Ends up paying off with the first blood onto Boombang. Stone and Arcade going to have to walk back to these minions. We'll be able to get the experience for one ahead of Manitoba, I think. That's pretty much it. Unfortunate for sure. That first blood coming into the MF will definitely help things out as well. And good on them to keep an eye out for that, but it's going to be Arrow using his level 2 to come into walk all the way back for his red buff. Will be Blitzkrieg taking a little bit of damage here, already popping one of his pots. Keep himself alive. Level 3 now hit on the Tethalus, but not looking like too much else will go on here between these two teams. Level 2 now hit onto the bot lane. Level 2 now for that Lucian, but it's going to be a while for that Leona to hit her, so definitely going to try to see what they can do for their what Manitoba can do with that in mind. No summoners being used, actually, to note. That's a Braum with a heal, no ignite, but has the Guardian available, so that's an interesting thing that I don't see that often anymore. But that could be a way to go with Braum, I guess, nowadays. Didn't he get a buff recently, actually, now that I think about it? I don't know. Chat, if Braum's is actually good now, let me know, but I swore he was like 20, like bottom tier in terms of support recently. Could be wrong. They're trying to keep this wave here. But meanwhile, let's take a look at top lane. Show True and Tiger Clown some love here. True, not doing too bad on his own there. The set pick is interesting. I want to see what IIT can do to team play themselves around Haymaker. Not going to be able to pull anyone. But that's going to be Tiger Clown taking a couple of hits. Will be Blitzkrieg taking a couple of hits as he's taken under half by Tethalus. Glacial Augment helping things along to have him able to keep her at bay. And a recent dive here, actually. It looks like a couple crucial summers. Let's take a quick replay check, actually, of that. I didn't see how that ended up happening through. It's actually going to be the TP from the set. Excuse me, not a gank here. Albin going to be taken very low. The dash here. Nice pull from the set. But no more damage. Boombang having to use his Ignite to try to see who he could get down. But that's going to be 3 relatively low members from Manitoba. Diana looking for a roam on her own. But we'll just be faking it, putting one right onto the Raptors to keep an eye out on that Shyvana. IIT is instead going to opt for the back, give themselves get themselves some time to get back onto lane a little quicker. And looks like this MF is going to let that wave push itself forward. Freeze the lane there in place. Blitzkrieg taken low once again, not having too much mana either. If Tethalus lands that Q, he's actually going to be able to proc all of them. Okay, I called it. Yeah. So, the missing ping not coming out from the Veigar either. It's going to actually have Divine in a tough spot, unfortunately. Going to be losing out some of those minions. Going to be able to go in Diana's favor, unfortunately. And double wards here for Manitoba. That doesn't look like that happened in sync between those two guys. It's going to be the BF there for the MF as opposed to the Lucian double longsword though. Leona does look like she's going to opt for a Moby Boots first item, but Divine looking like he's trying to commit himself for a first dragon here on his own, but Diana's going to be right there to spot him out and sniff him for it. These objectives are being checked and monitored by Manitoba, and that's going to be a level 6 Diana available with the Veigar still not there. Will be a lot of pings coming in through here, but the Dragon's going to be chunking Diana just a bit, and they're going to try to keep Thalos in place. He's going to have to flash himself right out just to avoid it, and they go right back onto this Dragon Dance. J4 now coming into the picture here. No TPs being used here from TigerCon. Doesn't look like he wants to channel it, and it looks like they'll be able to secure it. Divine going to be taken very low. It's going to be Boombang using his E to get over, but the proc here from Braum already being expired. Divine going to have to flash himself out of that situation, taking a decent amount of damage before members. Snowdown going to be followed up here. It's going to be level 6 Thalos. Going to be the flash here from Snowdown to get out from it, but he will fall again. The proc, I believe, resetting for on that Braum to keep the Leona in place. And that will be the 2 deaths there on Leona, but she will be at the cost of the Ocean Drake for IIT. Level 6 here from both teams. True looking like he wants to go for it. The Haymaker will not be able to land. Trading some blows with no, not Grasp. No, he has Grasp. Kale doesn't, my bad. Not looking like any more action here, though, as both sides are going to back off, excuse me. And it's going to be even more damage coming in for that MF. Lucian has definitely got to look for a back here pretty soon if he wants to stay in contention against that MF damage. A big Q landing on a unsuspecting Boombang will definitely chunk her to at least 600, 500 health. Cannot afford that for sure. Level 5 now going to be hit here for MF, as Lucian should be able to keep up in terms of hitting level 6 at the same time, but for sure Boombang is definitely feeling the brunt of it, trying to see who he can roam, trying to see who he can help out, and doesn't look like any more to happen though. Looking like they're keeping an eye out, that they know that there has been a control ward a regular ward being placed down there. Keep an eye out for Shyvana, but Diana and J4 going for a room of their own. Rift Herald for the first one will be spawned up. He's going to get himself that scuttle. Blitzkrieg now going to be tucked right into that Diana damage. He's going to have to flash out, in fact, just to get away from that. Big Summoner's lost now for Veigar. He's going to have to back all the way in order to get that. And unfortunately, without the Veigar support there, Veigar to support Shyvana, Divine does not want to commit himself towards losing out on that blue buff. Lens will be able to come right back up, should be able to keep an eye out for it, but J4 will concede that. Looks like Divine wants to perhaps give that for himself and take that resource just to keep him trying to match up to that J4. First turret plating here will fall in favor of Manitoba, but Boombang taken relatively low. That Q, not even with the proc damage, already able to chunk out almost 300 of Snowdown's health right there. That damage is going to be nutty, dude. I think that was lucky, because I'm pretty sure you don't get the crit strike unless the unless you kill something. Anyway. Couple members roaming all over here from Manitoba. They have relatively good control of this blue, of their blue jungle, of the river. Couple wards here from IIT to spot anything out though, but Shyvana's going to be level 6 here in the bot lane, pretty healthy. It's going to be Snowdown level 6 here. Boombang's going to take a little bit to be able to hit that for himself, but not looking like either side's wanting to commit anything as of yet. Looking like True taking some harass though from the Kale, looks like for sure. 10 minutes in, now only about 2k behind. And MF has got a sizable bit of shutdown gold in favor. Will be Divine diving in all the way. A stun there to follow up. Is the damage going to be there onto Blitzkrieg? He's going to have to ult available. Nice kill there. Boombang there for emotional support. Good dive there for the Hawks. Able to get it, especially without the Veigar summons, but J4 will be able to be there to capture up that wave. KO going to be showing that they are missing. Will be the Scuttle just spawning its way, and that should be secured up by there by Divine. Arrow going to be too late to go for it. But there is a controller to spot things out. He could be stuck between a rock and a hard place. He will not have the smite to go through. It will be the TP being channeled by Diana. She's going to be stuck. Blitzkrieg going to have to try to see what he can do. He already used E to try to get her out. Going to be time too late. And that will be the Shyvana falling, unfortunately. Going to be the Mountain Dragon going to be spawning up. And no Divine in sight. No smite available. Should be falling there for Manitoba. Snowdown Arcade's going to try to do what he can to proc some turret plating for himself. He is going to finally get it. Will he show up for this fight? Or do they want to concede it from the get-go? Ward is going to be there to place it out. They're going to see that J4 is going to be taken down, but IIT going to ping it. They will concede. And that's going to be the first dragon there for the red team. Arrow going to be picking it up, and that's going to help them for that armor and magic resistance. True looking like he is able to keep himself at a relatively good spot between the KO as opposed to last time going like 0-2, 0-3 relatively early, I would say. But I might have spoken too goddamn soon, because that KO is going to have the ult available, and that True is going to make her pay for it. Haymaker will land onto the KO. She will have the ultimate available, but that's some AP damage coming in here through. Nice slam down. True, flex me that summoner's icon or something. No, being respectful. And Shyvana quick to pay back. That AP damage going to be doing wonders for IIT. No MR available yet for that KO. Armor being built here by J4 could be unsuspecting of that AP damage. And that's going to even up the kill board. It's going to be IIT coming back here with only about a 1k deficit. Bringing it right back into mind. Another turret plate here for IIT for the Hawks. Brings them pretty much right in line in terms of where the turrets are in terms of health. 2600 here. And 2700 there for the bot lane. Lucian's going to be trying to backtrack to try to see if he can match up. He's going to finally pick up a BF for himself along with that Warhammer. That's got to be Essence Reaver, right? For the build, I believe. Gonna try to get... No, he missed the cannon. I thought I was going to queue it. Didn't actually have that available just yet. That's unfortunate. Will be Leona finishing up that Moby Boots. Will be Shyvana here around the bottom side with the ult in line. Will be available pretty soon, I believe. Braum going to be doing a big roam here, try to see what they can do. Looking like they want to secure that second Herald, and IIT none the wiser. Looks like it might slip right under their nose. It's going to be Divine. Could be a potential dive onto Alitas. If they commit for it, it will be something to definitely help get some of that crucial shutdown gold for sure. It's going to be Seto and Tiger Clown in a tough spot. The ult not available for the next 8 seconds. Not sure if it's going to be up in time to have him be able to get it. He's going to be stunned. Braum proc will fall through. They will know that he is top lane, and Shyvana will be there to try to see if they can contest it. Knowing that the Herald has not fallen down yet, but I think at a 1v2, 1v3 situation, that's not going to be doing anyone any favors. I don't think Divine should fall down again. Will be set down too far behind for sure. Braum there to help things out. Leona coming all the way around here for a roam. Ali Deuce not even going to want to risk it. With the cleanse available, though, could be getting out of a full-on engage against them. They're going to let Boombang go all the way here. It's going to be the stun here. But Lucian will not be there from the other side. Ali Deuce could actually clean right through it, but not looking like any more follow-up. Turret plating will expire. Herald will be placed down here onto the set, perhaps. Another controller being placed down here. But should be okay. Blitzkrieg still trading things where they can. Glacial Augment still keeping that Diana resolutely in place. And it was actually going to be at the cost of the first turret there for the Hawks. Well played for IIT. able to make sure that they are going to have to expend a lot of resources to just commit themselves for that Herald, and it won't be able to give them a first turret as well. Braum going to be still lying in wait. I believe he just put down put down that control ward. But the timing is crucial here. If Braum's not here, if Braum's not healthy with those items, he will get the knock up the flash play, but will be able to be instantly stopped by the Diana, by that Veigar cage. Big brain play. And that's going to be some crucial summoners in mind. Cloud Drake going to be coming up here in the next 35 seconds, but Braum has not backed yet. We'll be seeing Dilution right here up in front, but won't have any follow-up. IIT desperately going to try to see if they can get any vision from around here. There is going to be a ward capture out that blue buff. They should see it. No TP is available here for Veigar, but I don't think they're going to start it. Control ward there to see once the dragon spawns up. Will be Divine trying to see what he can close out from their jungle side. But they're going to be giving that time for that Braum to come back. They are going to be getting that scuttle for themselves. Dragon will now spawn. They know that the Braum is not in the area. They don't see him yet, but that shouldn't be a problem. Set's going to commit himself with this as well. In fact, does IIT want to challenge the siege? It's going to be Taythalis there in the mid showing himself. It looks like IIT wants to commit themselves for it. Set is in the background here, and Kayle is going to respond by getting some turret of damage on her own. They will concede the Dragon from the looks of it. IIT committing a lot for it, but it should work out in their end. That's going to be 2 dragons secured, and that's going to be Kayle chunking down that tier 1 nearly on her own. Hitting the level 12, hitting that level 11 to get herself onto that first stage with that increased movement speed at the level 11 with that Inflame. And I talk about that level 16 a lot. I don't think IIT can afford losing out onto that. They are going to be keeping that set between a rock and a hard place, and the Cloud Drake map movement will be able to speed the members around a bit, but Divine going to try to see what he can finish up onto that. It's going to be True taken very low. Going to have to flash out. The flash from the Kayle. This is a big commitment here from both sides. Is the damage going to be there? Divine going to have to flash himself right out, but the damage there going to be swallowed up by the Braum. Ooh, taken very close, and unfortunately, the damage is just not going to be there. Quadra kill, in fact, for the Kayle. Lucian, what are you doing, buddy? How is that worth? I don't know what led to that at all, because that's going to have them come right back onto top. You know, we had a point where IIT was even in the golds, but even in the gold lead, but that's going to be taken away from them right from the get-go. And that's going to be 4 kills for the Kayle, in fact. Stone on Arcade, not a fan of that play. Looking like he wanted to commit himself for that wave after that dragon, I think. Meanwhile, Manitoba, guns blazing, wants to go right through IIT's jungle, and unfortunately they don't have the damage to follow up with it as of yet. Veigar is going to have 126 AP earned up, but unfortunately I don't think Boombang is as comfortable with that Leona as opposed to Albin. Going to try to see what he can do to place some vision up. Should be able to have seen that controller. I think the lens saw it. Looking like a bit of a lane switch here. It will be IIT spot lane here, wanting to set their sights towards that tier 1 top. And going to leave Veigar on his lone sub. He's got this turret at the halfway point. Second Rift Herald, I believe, has already expired. Will be some damage being brought out here. It looks like they're going to concede that scuttle there for Divine. He does have the damage. He's starting to build up that Oblivion component to get himself Morelos, right? Maybe not. But whatever IIT can do to hold out the game for sure is in their advantage. I think now being already set behind once again into the backseat. Unfortunately, though, that Kayle with those 4 kills is going to have for at least 1k, if not more. 1.5k, yeah, in favor ahead of that set. And that's definitely going to be unfortunate. Tiamat going to help things out with some of that wave clear, but Blitzkrieg now here in the bot lane. and J4 as well. If that Veigar pushes up, could be seen. I think they saw him before the minions went through. So unfortunately, the timing not in favor for that J4. But he's gonna go with the back. IIT now and Manitoba just trying to match each other in terms of these rotations. Going to try to do what he can to catch back up into the game. Snowdown Arcade taking that time commitment onto the nice Q there to land from the MF. Going to chunk down him to 300 health, in fact. But Blitzkrieg with his back is going to come in with the GLP 800 with the Codex, but the damage is not going to be there. Taythal is going to be taken very low, in fact. Nice stun there to keep it in mind, but the damage is not going to be there. Arrow's still lying in wait. Divine going to have to try to see what he can do, but the damage is not going to be enough. He's going to actually flash for it. The stun will not be able to fall through. And Arrow, still with his ult available, is going to be difficult for the Hawks to be able to try to get themselves out of a potentially hairy situation. Set, though, 1v1. I got to give True the respect he deserves with that play. How did that happen? Just lands the ult straight in. KO damage won't fall through, but it's got to be a haymaker that he landed it, right? Oh my god, that damage is nutty. And that's going to be 800 gold. Question marks from Manitoba as they just have no idea how that's allowed to happen. I also agree. But Taythal is going to be diving right above Braum, lying in wait. The kills aren't as crazy as opposed to what you normally see. Will be another control word being taken away here. And it will be the Cloud Dragon spawning here in 10 seconds. Lucian is available with his ult, with his flash, and with his heal. Gonna need Snowdown to pull out something with that KDA, because 21 minutes in, we need to have him to be able to pull through, and it's going to be Arrow committing himself with that ultimate. It's going to be MF support, MF ult clearing right through Divine, and will be another TP used, in fact. But the damage is not quite there. Boombang still looking like he wants to do more to proc from the Braum. Going to finish him off as well. Snowdown Arcade going to try to do what he can. He's got the heal and flash available. Is he going to try to heal through the Blitzkrieg? No, that Q will barely take down Snowdown. And has to blow the heal in order to get away from that. Taythal lying in wait here, trying to see what he can do. But he's not going to have an ult to finish anything more from that. And it will be pings for the Baron as the Mountain Drag only here in Boombang's in Manitoba's kit, but should be enough to keep them at bay with it. Oh, this is taken by just small pickings here between both sides if they want to go for it. But it will be Baron though finally falling. It will be the GOP 800 not falling. Snowdown Arcade using a valuable summoners to trade for Taythal assist though. And at that Baron power play now. What can the Hawks do against that? Divine still available. Do they want to commit for this back though? Not looking like it. If the Hawks die here with that Baron buff still available and losing this drag, that's going to essentially be spelling the end here between those two. Veigar not set into play yet. Diana just coming back around trying to see who they can pinch. Divine going to be procced here. Will be ulted in place. True trying to see what he can do. Haymaker will land. That's going to be some very low members. True going to have to be diving way deep. Braum will fall. 2 kills here. Kale turning on though. It's going to be Taythal without the flash available. Will be Blitzkrieg to finish it off and a couple members here. But Blitzkrieg, I'm not sure about this dive. How are you not respecting that? But they're going to try to see what they can do against the 2v2 situation. But I think, honestly, Kale wins that. The damage is going to cleave right through it. Blue team will be able to get the dragon, but at the cost of a lot of members falling. And another quadra kill for Kale. IIT, what is the inspiration behind this play? I got to, like, did they ping this out or something? Because I don't see how you think that continuing on for this is actually supposed to make sense. Like, how? What the fuck? What the actual F? Ugh. I'm so confused. I don't know if that's gotta be like so unfortunate. And thank God the J4 did not have smite, because I think he actually out levels the Shyvana from that and would have been able to take it. Jesus Christ. Snowdown Arcade. Excuse me. Manitoba now locking themselves here with this tier 2 tower. Baron buff should be expiring pretty soon, I believe. And IIT now about 5.5, 6, 7.5, excuse me, goal behind is really tough for them right now. It's only one tower here falling from the Snowdown Arcade split push. Gonna have to try to put all the gold behind him, whatever that they can afford. Booming taking a couple of hits here. And looking like an engage here to start things off. Divine trying to do what he can. But the MR with that Zeke's with the Locket set up as well next here from this Braum. It's going to be a decent amount of damage. Morello, Runic proc going to be there. And in all of this time, Taythal is split pushing here in the bottom. IIT wants to fight, but Manitoba is not going to give them that luxury. And that Kale approaching that dreaded level 16 within this wave or next for sure. Needs to be able to get some of that valuable shutdown. That's going to be a Rabadon's, I believe, with the 2 needlessly large rods there in her kit. And a really big misplay, unfortunately. You know, that's... I just don't understand why you think you can chase Kale J4 when they're actually like the biggest members from your team. Look, J4 is perfect KDA. Like, you can't kill it as a Veigar Leona. The Leona has nothing. It's going for redemption so far, it looks like, even. I don't know. It really troubles me. It's going to be finally the Baron buff finally expiring. IIT trying to clear their way through the camps here. Going to be the red buff there for Shonen Arcade. Will be having him about 1k behind from that MF and just the kills there in her favor. You know, Shonen Arcade trying to see what he can do from the backline, but unfortunately the damage is just not really there yet. Going to be another camp being stolen away here from Manitoba as they are pushing themselves into now, grouping themselves up here into the top lane. That's going to be the Kale with the Transcendence attack range now all the way from all over, and I don't think in a full 5v5 situation they're going to come out ahead. Albin pushing himself right up to the front. I need Blitzkrieg to have better discipline of that on that Veigar cage. You need to hold on to that. That cooldown is not going to be forgiving relatively at this stage of the game. It's going to be true to try to do what he can do to split push, and honestly this might be the play. I think conceding the inhib turret might be for the best, but they're going to go right for the dive. It's going to be Arrow with the Kale ult in mind, but slicing away Tiger Clown with the Exalted is going to just clean right through it. Stone Arcade taking very low. Divine is going to be the next one to fall. The Exalted is still following through, and that's going to be 3 kills there. True with the TP, trying to see what he can do, but too little too late. Another wave here pushing as they're going to set their sights towards that tier inhib turret, and another inhib will fall. And Manitoba look like they might want to close this game. Chu's going to try to do what he can. Haymaker going to land. The shielding there, not really. Braum will fall in the process, and Tiger Clown going to fall down as Tiger Clown going to take down Snowdown Arcade for his first and final death. GG is going to come across here, and that's going to be a 2-0 game here for Manitoba as they will take down IIT. Bisons victorious over the Hawks, and that's going to spell the end of IIT's collegiate run in terms of playoff contention here. 2-0 for Manitoba. GG's for sure. And yeah, that KO damage. Look at that come through. Stone and Arcade not there for the team fights to pull out the team damage. Shyvana with some of those ganks to help out her top and mid respectively though. And that's going to be it for today. Always tough to see a loss though, but I believe, you know, just in valuation of the metrics, I think, you know, Manitoba definitely deserve it. They able to play their comp efficiently in the game one, able to pick ban correctly, able to shut down Snowdown Arcade from doing the damage that he needed to, and then Snowdown going for a more conservative pick with Dilution to try to be able to kite away from certain key members. Not able to be there for some of those, for like that one big team fight. And then the Dragon play from the Hawks especially. Yeah, I think winning out of that in like a... I think the trade was like 1 for 3 and then quickly turned into 3 for 3. or 3 for 4 or something like that, honestly. Gave the kill too many advantages. All of that gold in her pocket, for sure. And that's going to do it for us today, I believe. End of the stream coming up here. Appreciate everyone stopping by if you tuned in. But that's going to be the end for today. If you're still looking for more IIT matches, I believe the Overwatch team is playing in some. Twitch.tv/Chicago Overwatch, I believe, is the URL. If you want to keep an eye out for that. Their test season is going to be starting shortly, so we'll try to see if we can get a stream for that. But that'll do it for today. Alvin Moy, signing off.